Welcome to another podcast about movies with LJ and Courtney. I am LJ.
And I am Courtney.
We begin this episode with our preview review, where we review the previews. Our preview this week is for Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Matthew McConaughey.
Little late, Coop.
Yeah, we had a flat.
It's an Indian surveillance drone. Solar cells power an entire farm.
What'd you do, Murph?
She didn't do nothing.
Murphy's Law.
You're a well-educated man, Coop, and a trained pilot.
And an engineer.
The world doesn't need any more engineers. We didn't run out of planes and television sets. We ran out of food.
Dad, why did you name me after something that's bad?
Oh, we didn't.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law doesn't mean that something bad will happen. It means that whatever can happen will happen.
We must confront the reality that nothing in our solar system can help us.
Now you need to tell me what your plan is to save the world.
We're not meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it. And this is the mission we were trained for.
I've got kids, Professor.
Get out there and save them.
You have no idea when you're coming back.
I'm coming back.
We must reach far beyond our own lifespans. We must think not as individuals, but as a species. We must confront the reality of interstellar travel.
Murph, I love you forever. I'm coming back.
All right, Courtney. Matthew McConaughey is on, a couple of years ago, decided to have a career again. At least one that was, well, let's say this. He decided to start doing, he decided to start acting again. You know, and stop doing fluffy, nothing films. So he's on a bit of a roll. People are a big fan of his now, and with good reason. And he's joined Christopher Nolan, director of Memento, Insomnia, the Batman Begins / Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and now Interstellar. So when we last left Christopher Nolan, he was making a very, turns out, silly Batman film.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
That for me did not work. The kind of realistic take on the superhero, or at least the Batman story that he began in Batman Begins and then took to the next level in The Dark Knight, really fell apart in the third one with a lot of silly nonsense.
I don't think you're in the popular opinion here.
It depends. I think it's kind of 50-50. But in any case, so now we get Interstellar. It looks very self-serious. It looks like they're showing us, I hope, no more than half of the film in this trailer. If it is more than half of the film, Lord help us. It looks fine. I don't know. I'm not interested yet.
I sort of had a mixed reaction to this because I like the world and the problem that they're setting up. The sort of bleak end of Earth kind of reality that they're facing. I like that concept, and I like that it looks quite bleak and cerebral, but at the same time, this trailer really bored me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to think.
There's nothing here to be excited about, really. The interesting stuff they teased was right at the end, and really no context for what it is they're teasing. I don't have any clue they're suggesting that this is a multi-generational trip, and yet McConaughey says he's coming back, and I don't.
Well, I think The way I read the trailer, they showed you just a few shots interspersed of McConaughey's children, and then images of Jessica Chastain and Casey Affleck, who I think are maybe supposed to play like the adult versions of his children. So I think there's sort of he's gone forever trying to find a new place for humanity to go. And it's maybe splitting the story between the children's story and his journey. That's the impression I get.
Well, that would have been better. Because this trailer was really setting up the adventure angle. Mm-hmm. And if it's more of a tale of two times, and what happens when McConaughey comes back, and what does that mean for the world and the character, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't disappoint me when the movie doesn't turn out to be a space adventure.
Right. Well, I didn't get the impression this was necessarily supposed to be a space adventure exactly.
Well, I'm not talking like Lost in Space. But I would expect, it seems to be teasing something along the lines of, for some reason Sphere keeps coming into mind because of that sphere at the end of the trailer, but that was a terrible film.
What keeps coming to mind for me is Contact, actually.
Yeah, Contact's a good reference point. It does kind of remind me of that. And I guess certain people were disappointed with that film because it was, I guess it might have had a similar problem. It was selling us something that it didn't deliver. The marketing was, anyway. Also, a Matthew McConaughey film. What's going on? These movies are intersecting with each other and creating a vortex of boredom.
Hopefully not. I think there's a lot of interesting ideas here. I think there's a significant amount of potential for a great movie in what I'm seeing, and yet the trailer was just very dull.
Well, the most important part the trailer seems to be stressing for me is the human story of this family. And the trouble with that is Christopher Nolan has not proven himself to particularly excel at the more human element of his films, of his characters, and he's not one to tug on the heartstrings. He tends to be a bit more detached, and I guess cerebral is a word that keeps coming up. And if that part of this film doesn't work, the film probably doesn't work.
It'll be interesting to see what comes of it. It's an intriguing trailer in any case.
Intriguing, albeit not interesting.
Yeah.
And now we try to predict the weekend winners and losers in our segment, Judgment Day.
Last weekend, Godzilla did in fact take the #1 spot with $93.2 million in the box office.
Not 100?
No.
Failure.
This is the second biggest open of the year after Captain America 2.
Then it's the second best movie.
Which I think took $95 million in its opening weekend. Second place went to Neighbors with $25 million. Third place was my pick, Spider-Man 2 with $16.8. Your pick for third was $1 Million Arm, that came in fourth with $10.5. So, I'm clearly better.
I did say that $1 Million Arm film would be disappointing.
You did, yes.
And I win with that, so you lose.
Okay. Well, this weekend should be quite interesting because we have a huge opening in X-Men Days of Future Past that is going to almost 4,000 screens and is rated PG-13. We also have the
Hey, how does Mystique go to the bathroom? I think that's the most important question that these movies could answer.
I really don't think so.
Well, how do you think she does it?
The usual way.
She walks around naked. There are no, human. There are no, I don't know how to say this delicately. Where are the bottom half of the body holes? Is that delicate? I don't like the way I said that at all. Where are the appropriate, places that one
Exhaust
uses
ports?
in the bathroom places?
Moving on.
No!
This
is important.
We also have Blended, the rom-com starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore that's going to 3,500 screens that is also rated PG-13. The idea behind this is they go on some sort of terrible blind date and then somehow accidentally end up on a, quote, family moon, where they're on a vacation together with their children. It's all very convoluted, I'm sure.
Well, I wonder, I don't have a good handle on what the anticipation is for X-Men at all. I didn't even know it was coming out this week.
No?
Godzilla did so well. Alright, I'm gonna take a stab at a wrong decision here, as I am wont to do. And I am going to say Godzilla first, X-Men second, and Blended shall be third.
I'm gonna switch your 1 and 2. I think X-Men will take first, but it will be a disappointing open for them. And I think Godzilla will come in second, with Blended in third.
And that's it for us this week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you've not done so already, you can subscribe to us on the iTunes Music Marketplace. And while you're in the iTunes Music Marketplace, leave us a review. It'd be very helpful for the show. It would help the show get bigger and better. We're also in the Xbox/Zune Music Marketplace. You can subscribe there.
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/anotherpodcastaboutmovies. We're also on Twitter. Our handle is @podaboutmovies. And you can find all our blog posts and updates and episodes on our website, anotherpodcastaboutmovies.com.
And email us at anotherpodcastaboutmovies@gmail.com. Tell us how wrong we are about most things that we say, if not all. And with that, we look forward to talking at you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I've been wrong before, and... Nope, that's not true. Who am I kidding?